Now let us look at the next question. Listen to me very carefully. Before we start with this question, let us take a very small example. Suppose you have a charge q. Suppose you have a charge q, point charge, and it is revolving with an angular velocity omega. So this is a point charge and it is revolving at an angular velocity omega in a circle of radius r. In a circle of radius r. Then what will be the current due to this charge? What will be the current due to this charge? The current due to this charge. Now what is current? If you have defined current is rate of flow of charge through a cross section. So suppose this is one cross section in this circular path. So in this cross section, in one time period, the charge is crossing only once. So the charge is crossing this cross section once in one time period. So therefore the current will be is equal to q divided by t, or you can say q into frequency, or you can say q omega by 2 pi, because time period is 2 pi by omega, and 1 by time period will become omega by 2 pi. Yeah, right. So the current will become q omega divided by 2 pi. Now find the magnetic field. Find the magnetic field at the center. At the center due to rotation of this charge. Due to rotation of this charge. So what will you say? You have already found out the current, and you know that the magnetic field at the center due to a ring is mu naught I by 2r, mu naught q omega upon 4 pi r. So in this question it is given that we have a circular disc of radius r with uniform charge density sigma. It rotates with an angular speed omega. We need to show that the magnetic field at the center of the disc is B is equal to half mu naught sigma omega r. So this is a disc. Radius of this disc is r. This is the charge density sigma, and it is rotating with an angular velocity omega. Now let us take an elemental ring of radius r of width dr. Then what is the charge on this elemental ring? The charge on this elemental ring will be equal to sigma multiplied by area of this element. Area of this element is how much? 2 pi r into dr. You can open this ring and you will see that it will become a rectangle of length 2 pi r and width dr. So the area of this element will be 2 pi r multiplied by dr. So the charge on this element is sigma into 2 pi r dr. Now the current due to this ring is q omega by 2 pi. We have already discussed the current due to a point charge is same as the current due to a ring, right? So the current is q omega by 2 pi, and that will be equal to, so here you will write dq omega by 2 pi, and that will be equal to sigma 2 pi r dr omega divided by 2 pi. 2 pi getting cancelled. So we will say that the current in this elemental ring, that is di, is sigma r omega dr. Now the magnetic field at the center due to this ring, that is dB, will be equal to sigma r omega dr, this is di, mu naught di divided by 2r. Yes. So from this you will get the magnetic field dB is equal to mu naught sigma omega by 2 dr. Why? R are getting cancelled. So from this you will get the net magnetic field due to the whole disk will be integration of dB, and that will be equal to mu naught sigma omega by 2 integration dr, but integration dr from 0 to r is capital R. So it will become mu naught sigma omega capital R by 2. So this is the magnetic field at the center of the disk due to its rotation. Okay, so in this question we will discuss a non-uniform current density inside a cylinder. So this is a solid cylinder and there is a current density J is equal to alpha R. Here the current density is not constant, but it varies with R. So when it varies with R, that means for a given R there the J is same at every point, but for a different R J will be different. Okay, so for a given R J is same, but for a different R J is different. So J is not constant throughout the volume. So here we need to find the magnetic field everywhere. So the first thing that you should know here is the magnetic field lines will still be circular. The magnetic field lines will still be circular. The magnetic field lines will still be circular. So let us draw this cylinder. This is an infinite cylinder and this is the axis of the cylinder. First let us find the magnetic field at point P inside the cylinder. So we will take this empirical loop. We will take this empirical loop and we will say that closed integral B dot dl is equal to mu naught into I enclosed. This is Ampere's law. Now for this you can say that B multiplied by 2 pi r is equal to mu naught into I enclosed. Now how to find this enclosed current? To find this enclosed current, let us take one more element here. Okay, and we will find the current through this element. So this is elemental ring. Okay, so you will say that di, the current through this is, you know that current is flux of current density. So you can say that di is J dot dA, that is equal to J is alpha R dot dA. That means because J and dA are in same direction, so this is the direction of J and dA is also in this direction, so dot product will be removed and you will say dA, area of this ring element, is 2 pi r dr. So this is the current through this elemental ring. So the total current enclosed, wait, so the total current enclosed will be equal to integration 2 pi alpha r square dr integrated from 0 to small r, because this radius is small r, we need only the enclosed current. So that will be equal to 2 pi alpha r cube by 3. So this is the enclosed current. Now once you have found out the enclosed current, you will say that B multiplied by 2 pi r is equal to mu naught into 2 pi alpha r cube by 3. 2 pi getting cancelled and you will get B is equal to mu naught, 1 r is also cancelled, mu naught r square upon alpha upon 3, right? So this is the magnetic field at any point inside the plane, in cylinder. So now we need to find the magnetic field at any point outside the cylinder. So suppose this point is Q and we need to find the magnetic field outside this cylinder. Again you will take this empirical loop and you will write for outside points, B into 2 pi r. Now I'm directly writing B into 2 pi r is equal to mu naught into I enclosed. What will you write I enclosed? I enclosed will be same, but this time the integration will be from 0 to capital R. From 0 to capital R. So this time you will say that you integration di from 0 to capital R, because the current is this total current is enclosed inside this empirical loop. So from this you will write B into 2 pi r is equal to mu naught into I enclosed will be 2 pi alpha r square dr, integrate it from 0 to capital R. So this time you will say B is equal to 2 pi getting cancelled, alpha capital R cube by 3 mu naught R. So this time B will be inversely proportional to R. So if you have to draw the graph between B and R, so if you have to draw the graph between B and R, you will see initially up from the axis to the radius, the magnetic field varies with R square. And just after the radius, that is the outside points, the magnetic field varies inversely with R. So this is directly proportional to R square and this is inversely proportional to R. Let us look at the next question. Consider a coaxial cable which consists of an inner wire of radius A. So this is an inner wire of radius A surrounded by an outer shell of, this is a shell of inner radius B and outer radius C. So that means this is hollow. Okay. The inner wire, this inner wire is solid, this is solid, this side is, this is hollow. The inner wire carries a current I naught. The inner wire carries a current I naught. So this wire carries a current I naught. So I have only drawn the cross section here. This is the cross section. This is the cross section and the current suppose is outwards. Okay. So the current I naught and the outer shell carries an equal current in the opposite direction. So suppose in this the current is inwards. Find the magnetic field at a distance x from the axis, where x first case is less than a, that means inside point, second case here, third case here, fourth case here. Okay, so first let us solve problem number A. So for problem number A, what you will do, you will take an empirical loop like this, right? So for problem A, you will take an empirical loop like this. So you will say B multiplied by 2 pi r is equal to mu naught into I enclosed. Now to find I enclosed, you know that pi a square area has I naught current. Then the unit area will have I naught upon pi a square current. Then this small pi small r square area will contain I naught upon pi a square into pi r square. That is I a square, sorry, I r square divided by a square. So this is the enclosed current. So I'll write it here now. B into 2 pi r is equal to mu naught I r square divided by a square. So from this, so for the A part you will get magnetic field is equal to mu naught I r square, mu naught I r, one r will get cancelled, divided by 2 pi a square. So this is the correct answer of magnetic field due to first part. Due to outer currents the field inside is 0, you know that, right? Now let us come to the B part, where we have to find the magnetic field at this point. When we want to find the magnetic field at this point, then you will take the empirical loop in passing through this point. So in this case, again you will say B into 2 pi r is equal to mu naught into, this time the total enclosed current is I naught, right? So because in this empirical loop, this total current will lie. So from this you will get B is equal to mu naught I naught divided by 2 pi. Okay. So now the next case is case 3, where you want to find the magnetic field at this point. So this time you will again draw a empirical loop which is circular and passing through this point where you want to find the magnetic field. So this time what will you write? Now listen to me very carefully. For C part, pi C square minus B square area. See this area is how much? Pi C square minus B square, because this is C, this is B. So pi C square minus B square area has I naught current. So unit area will have I naught upon pi C square minus B square current, right? So uh, this area will be how much? Pi R square minus B square. Pi R square minus B square area will have I naught upon pi C square minus B square multiplied by pi R square minus B square. So this is the current inside this region. So if you want to find the magnetic field, again you will say, applying Ampere's law, B multiplied by 2 pi r is equal to mu naught into I enclosed. Now I enclosed this time, listen to me carefully, I enclosed this time will be not only this, but also this. This is the total enclosed current will be I naught. The total enclosed current will be I naught minus this. Why minus? Because both currents are in opposite direction. So the inner cylinder will have the total current I naught, and for the outer cylinder we need this part of that total current. So I naught into small r square minus b square divided by c square minus b square. Now you can subtract it, and then you will get the magnetic field at the point C, or for case C. Now if you want to find the magnetic field for outside points, then you will say that for outside points the total current enclosed is 0. Why? Because this is I naught and this is minus I naught, so the net magnetic field outside is 0. So you will say for D point, since current enclosed is 0, therefore for outside points, the magnetic field is 0. Next question is, three identical long solenoids P, Q and R are connected to each other as shown in the figure. Three identical long solenoids P, Q and R are connected to each other as shown in the figure. If the magnetic field at the center of P here is 2 Tesla, then what would be the field at the center of Q? Assuming that the field due to any solenoid is confined within the volume of that solenoid only. That means they are saying that these solenoids are ideal. Now you know that the resistance of a loop will be directly proportional to length, because they are identical solenoids, so the resistance will be same. So if the resistance will be same, that means here the current is dividing. So if I current was flowing here, then I by 2 current flows here, I by 2 current flows here, and because the magnetic field is directly proportional to current, so current here becomes half, so magnetic field will also become half. So the magnetic field here is 2 Tesla, then the magnetic field here will be 1 Tesla. Suppose a charge Q is moving with a speed v. So we have a charge q, and this charge q is moving with a speed v at this point, at this instant. And we need to find the magnetic field at point P. So you know that the magnetic field at point P will be equal to, at this instant, will be equal to mu naught upon 4 pi q v cross r upon r cube. Because at this instant, this charge q is making a vector r with point P. Now, what will be the electric field due to this charge q at this point P at this instant? It will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r cube r vector. Yes, k q by r cube into r vector, right? So from here you can see that we need to find the relation between B and E. We need to find the relation between B and E. Okay, so let us see what we can do. We can say that B is equal to mu naught epsilon naught divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q v cross r upon r cube. Now listen carefully. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q r by r cube is basically E. So this can be written as mu naught epsilon naught v cross E. So this is the relation between magnetic field due to a charged particle with the electric field at any point. Okay, so magnetic field is equal to mu naught epsilon naught into v cross E. So the magnetic field of a charged particle is always perpendicular to its electric field as well as its motion, means direction of motion. Hello students, if you like my work, do hit the like button and share my work with your friends. Also, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. You'll be notified when I upload my next video.